know, it's spring, it's Colorado. What are you going to do?
That's the spirit you got to have living in Colorado. Our late spring snowstorm isn't letting up just yet.
More snow to fall tonight when the flakes will finally finish up.
The mountains have turned into a snowy mess, and it's slow going on the Front Range.
Coming up 25 was only about 100 yards of vision.
And the class of 2022 is forced to be a little flexible.
We've dealt with a lot already in high school, and we're kind of used to it at this point.
Plus, we have the one thing you should check on before heading off to bed. And you are looking live tonight from our CDOT camera near Georgetown, where, well, traffic isn't really moving at all. The mountains are getting hit hard with snow, and certainly that's great if you want to get some skiing in at A Basin or Winter Park tomorrow, but you are definitely going to want to take the drive easy. I-70 is shut down in both directions right now over Vail Pass because of these conditions. Now here in the metro, the snow's still, I don't know, sort of coming down, but the roads are just mostly wet.
And you can see from our Denver 7 radar here, the snow is still covering much of the Front Range, and it will continue to fall overnight. Good evening and thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Bayan Wayne.
I'm Ann Trujillo. Depending on where you are in the state, you're likely seeing a wide range of impacts from the moisture. Wherever you are, we have you covered.
And with that, we have team coverage tonight. But first, we begin with Denver 7 CB Cotton live in Castle Pines. CB, you've been seeing some good snow down there.
And Bayan, that's right. And what a difference a few hours can make. When the precipitation first started this afternoon here in Castle Pines, it was snow pellets. Now, if you take a look around me, it's big, fluffy flakes, leading to a lot of accumulation. If I take a step right here, you can see there's probably at least 3 to 4 inches at this point. And with this wintry weather expected to continue through the night, drivers, you need to be careful if you choose to get on roadways. Snowfall stealthily making its way into Colorado's springtime. But ask any Coloradan, and they're not too surprised.
I mean, that's Colorado. Like, this is us. You got to be prepared for, like, anything. Yeah, 90 degrees, snowing today.
Temps did reach 90 degrees on Thursday, a sharp contrast to the late May snowstorm that arrived on Friday, a storm that could drop up to 2 feet of snow in some parts of the northern Front Range over the weekend. But down south in Castle Pines, accumulation is expected to be less. Still, drivers had to tackle near whiteout conditions in the early afternoon.
Coming up 25 was only about 100 yards of vision. It's coming down so fast and so hard.
Well, it was wet and real wet, not icy, and the visibility was very poor. And I went from Castle Pines out to Parker.
For Consuelo Reyes, the roadways became so tricky, she decided to stop driving all at once.
I actually pulled off and took a nap for a little bit, and then I woke up and visibility was much better. So we're just going to see how it goes.
Taking it one stretch at a time will remain her motto as she makes her way farther south.
Take my time, leave space. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I still have to get to Alamosa, so there's like 3 more hours pretty much for me.
Others just grateful they don't have to go too far this weekend.
We live in the mountains, this is nothing.
And some excited for what could be Colorado's last snowfall before the summer months.
Pues a mí me gusta muchísimo.
This man telling us he's enjoying the weather, but we all know no Coloradan is taken too off guard by a late snow. And earlier today, it was definitely the story of on and off conditions here in southern Colorado, but now it's coming down pretty steady. And Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson joins us to give us an outlook on the rest of the Front Range. Mike, what can you tell us?
CB, the latest reports just to the south of you in the Castle Rock areas. It's snowing buckets at the present time. They're at 5.5 inches and much more to come. Genesee's had a foot, Blackhawk close to that with 11 inches. And Evergreen has had about 7 inches of snow. So it's been a good producer so far. This is downtown Denver. Roads are wet at the moment. We're seeing the heaviest bands of snow foothills and down to the south of the Denver area. We still have a slew of warnings in effect: winter storm warnings, freeze warnings, winter weather advisories, and across the state there's even a smoke advisory to the south because that front is not quite producing snow in the Pagosa Springs area. We'd like to see it there. It's still 57 at Durango, 33 degrees in the Denver area. Temperatures drop around freezing tonight, and that means the bridges, the ramps, the overpasses will be icy later on.
Lots of snow and very chilly. All right, Mike, thank you. All right, before you call it a night, do yourself a favor and check on any trees you have in your yard. If you can, try knocking off any snow to prevent tree limbs from breaking. Since trees are fully bloomed, the wet and heavy snow could cause limbs to snap. You'll want to check again in the morning when you wake up. Just be sure to gently knock the snow off instead of really hacking at it. Now, students at Evergreen High School had a truly unique graduation experience today. Their graduation was the only one held at Red Rocks today, so students and parents had to sit through the snow this entire morning. We're sure some of them didn't mind, though. It's a very exciting day. Our Rob Harris joins us from outside the Denver Coliseum, where Columbine High School's graduation was moved inside from Red Rocks. Rob, they seem to handle the change pretty well.
Yeah, by all things considered. And in fact, the ceremony just wrapped up about an hour ago. We still have some stragglers here with seniors wishing each other good luck and celebrating the year that they had. But like you mentioned, they were supposed to be walking across the stage at Red Rocks, and they were hoping for a beautiful Colorado spring day. Wasn't exactly what Mother Nature gave us, so the leadership of the school moved it here to the Denver Coliseum at the last minute. And before the ceremony started, I got to talk to a few of the graduating seniors to take their temperature on how they felt about this change. And to be honest, they were a little disappointed because quite a few told me they had been dreaming of that Red Rocks graduation experience. Many of them have siblings who have had that same experience before. They wanted to have it too. But they also told me that they've learned to be resilient over the past few years as COVID changed so much of their high school experience. So really, they were just glad they got to have an in-person ceremony, period.
It's always been a dream, like graduating at Red Rocks. It's just such a pretty place, but I think just being able to be here and like dressing up, being nice, and not having to worry about cold weather.
Our families still get to come, and like we all still get to be here as like one big class. We've dealt with a lot already in high school, and we're kind of used to it at this point, but obviously we are sad about it, but we're glad that we could just graduate in general.
Let's go! Yeah, so as you can see in here, I think they're going to be fine. They weren't too sad about their graduation here. And the Columbine seniors are not alone in having to change their last-minute plans. Chatfield had to move their graduation from Red Rocks to the Coliseum too. And many other high schools have had to either move inside the school gym this weekend or delay their graduation by a couple days or a day to accommodate for the winter weather. So with the announcements we've received, we've compiled a list up at thedenverchannel.com with those graduation plans. Ann?
All right. Fun out there. Thank you. An MLK early college senior nearly had her graduation ruined, but the kindness of others has helped her out. Kayla Cochran is graduating next Friday, and this accomplishment is extra special because she has autism. Kayla says she parked her scooter at the 40th and Airport RTD station while going to see a movie, and her cap and gown were in the seat of that scooter. And when she finished the movie, her scooter and her cap and gown were gone.
Certain people's graduations because of COVID was canceled, many for 2 years because of the pandemic, and then finally we're able to start celebrating graduations again, and it's my kids' turn, and here I was worried she wasn't going to graduate like with her cap and gown and walk, the one proud moment that a parent gets to watch.
Now, this story does have a happy ending. Kayla's mom says her case manager at school made some phone calls and was able to get her a new cap and gown. And as for the scooter, they're not too worried about it. All they really wanted was the cap and gown so Kayla could graduate.
Lucky she did. All right, the snow has forced the state's high school track and field championships to be postponed. The State High School Sports Association is hopeful, though, the meet will restart tomorrow afternoon and finish on Sunday. But if Jeffco Stadium cannot be cleared in time, the meet may have to be moved to Sunday and Monday. We have our full coverage of postponements and potential snow totals for you on thedenverchannel.com.
Rising COVID cases and positivity rates in Jefferson County have forced the county health department there to put masking requirements back in place. So masks are now required in places like homeless shelters, jails, substance abuse centers, and adult day centers. And these are areas where people are considered to be most at risk. Jeffco officials say in the last 7 days, the case rate has risen to more than 200 cases per 100,000 people. And statewide, new COVID case reports topped more than 2,200 today. Yesterday, the State Department of Health advised the public to wear a mask, but health experts say more is needed to manage living with the virus.
A Colorado woman is told to pay her apartment complex $3,000 or get evicted.
It just was on my door one day and I'm like, I thought everything was good.
Hit with the charge out of nowhere. Luckily, she found legal help, but it's not something everyone can get.
You need a lawyer, and we don't have the resources to provide them.
The Avalanche are now locked in a battle with the St. Louis Blues. We look ahead to a critical Game 3 coming up.